once I totally understand, but there was video evidence of what this was the 5th time he says 9 or 10 times that he's been involved with this kind of thing that has led to a review. To me, that's egregious, right? Even before you start going around touting yourself as some minor pseudo celebrity because you're breaking the rules, the fact that you've put yourself in that situation multiple times and it impacted or at least disrupted play of a major league sporting event.
Well, when you come to a ballpark, we know it entitles you to certain things, but does it entitle you to harass the players and impact the game? Absolutely not. Derek Montilla here with PHNX, your mayor of PHNX, of course, the real boss around here, Espo. We are here to chat about some of this fan behavior that the Arizona Diamondbacks have experienced lately. And again, this is probably something that is as old as sports itself, the fans that are spectators somehow getting involved with the game. And of course, we know that these instances have gotten some pretty high profile coverage, but it's kind of because some of these things that have happened to the Diamondbacks are fairly egregious. We have the fan in Chicago that obviously said the disgusting comments to Cattell about his mother who passed away in a car accident. And recently here at Chase Field, a fan that has not only gotten involved in a game and impacted it by interfering in the game, but has also been appearing around town kind of bragging about his exploits impacting baseball games and going out there and getting these balls. And I don't know. I mean, I do feel like obviously you're being a basketball guy. Baseball is one of those sports where fan interaction, fan interference is more prevalent than any other sport, I feel like. But I mean, rules are rules, and it feels like this is kind of a simple thing when it comes to how to act as a fan when you come to a game.
Yeah, I mean, certainly two very different kind of incidents.
Definitely.
And, obviously in Chicago, banning that guy and doing it immediately, I think was 100% the right call. There is a line. We all know that. Like, there's one thing heckling players, having a good-natured ribbing and whatnot. There's another thing when you cross that line and it gets to the disgusting or the disturbing. Now, in the case with the guy in left field at Chase Field, to me, one time, okay. You got caught up in the moment.
It can happen to anybody, right? Like, you don't realize sometimes the boundaries of the game, and when a ball is flying at you or in your direction, sometimes the excitement is overwhelming and you just want to do everything you can to be the person that catches it, right?
So, and especially if you're a kid too,
especially
right? Like, I get
not
that.
A grown-ass man.
Once I totally understand, but there was video evidence of what this was the 5th time he says 9 or 10 times that he's been involved with this kind of thing that has led to a review. To me, that's egregious, right? Even before you start going around touting yourself as some minor pseudo celebrity because you're breaking the rules, the fact that you've put yourself in that situation multiple times and it impacted or at least disrupted play of a major league sporting event, and broke a rule. This isn't some unwritten rule of baseball.
Right.
It is a written rule. Yeah. I mean, we all remember it all the way back to, the 97 playoffs.
Old
and
the
Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees did.
Against the Orioles. Yeah. Like, there's all sorts of situations we've seen this. It's not some kind of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're doing this and they're enforcing the rule that's always been there. Yeah. It's egregious. And he deserved to be banned for this year. And I would go as far as saying he probably shouldn't be allowed to have a ticket anywhere on an outfield wall in that ballpark ever again, or in those general sections where he can make his way down there.
That's fair. And I think that the one key characteristic between these two incidents that have happened to the Diamondbacks recently is impacting the game and disrupting the game, right? Like, yes, the one was verbal and it was more of those insults being hurled at a player. And like you said, that one's not really a written rule. That's kind of one of the more unwritten rules. Like, there are things, I mean, I thought we all understood this. Like, no matter where your bubble is for what is acceptable and unacceptable, I felt like every Venn diagram had in the middle of it relatives that are deceased and people's moms as like things to stay away from, right? So there's the idea here that, free speech, right? And a person can come to a ballpark and scream whatever stupid ass thing they want to at a player, but that's not the case.
But that's not free speech. Is you have the right to say that, but it does not prevent you from facing consequences for what you
Right.
said. And that's what drives me nuts with that
Right.
is, yeah, you have the right to say it, and they have the right to throw your ass out of a ballpark for doing it.
Right. For being inappropriate, not only amongst other fans, because there's that, right? Like we as fans, you're bothering the players, you're interrupting the play, but you're also annoying us and you're annoying the people around you. And there's a consideration for being a part of a community, being part of a society while you're at a baseball game, right? There's like, again, yeah, you can act out, but everybody around you would prefer otherwise. You could sit there and scream the whole game and it could be perfectly allowable, like PG language, and you're still going to annoy people because you're just standing up screaming and being a jackass at a baseball game, right? But I also think the idea here is that letting this go leads to, and I'm glad you're here, a basketball guy, incidents like what happened back in the day with Malice at the Palace, where you have a player lose it and go after a fan in the stands. And for that brief altercation, for that brief moment, there's not a lot to help you from whatever's going to happen for the consequences of your actions. Now, it's not to say what a player did was right, but if you want to say screaming the most awful things at an athlete is acceptable because it falls under free speech, I will say it's acceptable for a player to come at you in the stands and defend himself as self-defense based on it being, I don't know, mental health, like it's mental health anguish, you know, like.
Yeah, I think there's so many things. You like imagine if in that outfield, you've got that overzealous guy or somebody like him, and he hurts a player
For sure.
because that player's going for that catch,
Right.
and he hurts that player.
He's trying his best to beat him to the punch, but he ends up breaking his wrist or something, right?
Like, I mean, there's consequences to actions, and yes, there is the danger that we don't treat athletes like humans, and sometimes in the situation with Cattell, that's just heartless. And yeah, you're going to hurt another human being, and the reaction to that sometimes is not going to be the way that you want it. Like that could lead to different things. Now, the Malice in the Palace was multiple factors coming together, but if you allow those kind of things, you push those rules further and further, like it's problematic. Just don't make it about yourself.
That's what it is.
Don't continue to interfere with it. Don't say something that you wouldn't say to Ketel Marte's face or any athlete's face when you're out there.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be jovial and give a guy a hard time, or we
just saw that in the Giants game, right?
Yeah.
A group of fans was chanting at the starting pitcher for the Giants, and what they were chanting at him was his last name, Birdsong.
Yeah.
They were just saying Birdsong, and I love those people. I want more of those type of people.
I want a pitcher, not a belly itchy.
Yeah,
like there's good natured with it, and then there's just being a bad human.
Yeah.
And just saying nasty things. And I feel like we can't let that go too far, because then anything goes, and that's problematic. And I know people don't like the slippery slope argument with things, but there has to be a line somewhere. And I would say, obviously, saying anything about a dead relative or a mother would be that, or breaking the rules 9 times or 10 times. Like eventually you pay the consequences for your actions. And I think it's as simple as that.
It really is. And there's 2 examples of this, but the result for both individuals has been being banned from the ballpark. In the case of the guy with Cattell, he's been banned from all Major League Baseball ballparks until a later determined time. Meanwhile, this fan that was a season ticket holder has been banned for the season, and they said it'll be reevaluated after the year. But again, just examples of how your conduct can not only impact a game, but can make this into a much bigger incident. Now, in some cases, you're searching for that glory, and you seem kind of unapologetic about what you did, what you've done. At least in the case of the fan that was yelling things at Cattell, reportedly he was very apologetic and felt very accountable, at least for his actions, despite the fact that he did what he did. I think just overall, the one thing we have to remember is when you come to a game, not only are you not the only person that paid to be there, but that ticket does not entitle you to treat anybody, whether it's people around you, ushers, or the players themselves, like crap, simply because you feel entitled to.
Yeah, I think for those people that didn't think the gentleman who reached over the fence should have been banned, fine. put him in one of the 300 sections, back in those seats that are behind the air conditioning vents, and he can't go past there.
That's a fake
if you
worse
want
than
him
death.
if you want him in the ballpark, fine. I'm okay with that as well. If banning feels too much to you.
I just want people to remember, it's like I said in the short, come see the show. Don't be the show,
Amen.
right? And that's what it's all about. Well, we thank you guys for your time. He is Espo. You can follow him at Espo. I am Derek. You can follow me at Cap_Caveman with a K. The show is at PHNX_Dbacks. But as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for your time. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's way more fun when you behave yourselves at a baseball game.
Keep your hands inside the car.